Presenting a concept in the most primitive form is the most difficult thing. So what we are going to address the concept of artificial neural network as a subcomponent of artificial intelligence, and that too from the perspective of what I have created called Karma Capsule Network. Right. So we're just going to see introduction on how it fits. I'll try to make it as much interesting possible. As I said, I'm going to make it very simple for everybody can understand. And I'm also going to try to relate as much possible to the real world examples so that you can relate it and then visualize. Okay. Can you guys see me very well?
Yes.
Good. And let me, I don't have to share the screen right now, but I want each one of you to open the Karma Capsule Network white paper as a reference for you to refer it locally. I'm not going to deviate from the white paper. I'm going to, because that would be a reference, I'm going to stay within the white paper. Those who don't have the link, I'm going to type it here, okay, in the screen. Let's see. Okay, here you go. This is the link. You can parallelly download and keep it in your desktop to refer. I will also share the screen as and when needed. Okay. Good. So Karma Capsule Network is a unique artificial neural network. It's not just a ANN. It's a combination of a neural network with the blockchain enabled distributed computing network. So it's kind of a unique breed of network that would solve a lot of current and future generation problems. That's that's the basic introduction about Karma Capsule Network. Technically, Karma Capsule Network, if you want to define what exactly Karma Capsule Network, basically the elevator pitch about Karma Capsule Network, which we do all the time to potential investors. Karma Capsule Network is a network of assets, digital assets, essentially to create liquid assets out of cyber physical assets. That's what Karma Capsule Network is going to do. So what is liquid asset? Liquid asset is an asset that can be quickly encashed, quickly transferable. So that's what liquid asset is. Your cash in hand is a liquid asset. Your real estate is not a liquid asset unless until you are able to sell your deed and make it transferable, right? So liquid asset is easy. It flows from one hand to the other hand easily. You can enter and exit in the game of liquid assets. That's why they are called liquid. Fluid, easily goes from one hand to the other hand. So the cash could be seen as a liquid asset, and there are other forms. Right? That's the liquidity part. On the other side, the asset part of it, why we call this as an asset. So in the game of blockchain, is basically, most of these use cases for Karma Capsule Network is going to be on the blockchain side. In the sense, at least it's going to touch majority of the use case is going to be applicable wherever blockchain is going to be, but we're going to bring a lot more value addition to it. Asset side, why we call it as a asset creating network. In the normal sense, asset is something which has value, that gets into the balance sheet of personal or company. Anything that gets into the balance sheet is an asset, right? Anything whose value keeps increasing but should not be depreciating should be an asset. In another language, anything that keeps adding more money to your pocket could be seen as an asset. So sometimes people get confused with whether your house is an asset or a car is an asset. Not necessarily. The general understanding is a car is kind of an asset and house is an asset. But what if you keep losing money on those things? What if you keep the value get depreciated every year or every month? It could not be an asset. Technically, you cannot call it as an asset, right? So that's a general definition of asset. But when it comes to digital assets, what digital asset really means, it means different for different people. In our language, any cyber physical asset that can be converted into a digital format so that it becomes liquid, easy to exchange. That's the digital asset, the right definition of digital asset. For example, the deed of a real estate. If you can sell a real estate easily, right, to piece of real estate, whether it is a land or a house. But the same thing, when you are exchanging deed between two parties, you can sell the deed to somebody without even seeing the piece of land, right? Yes, you still have to go through the process of registration, but it's much more less complicated compared to just simply selling the deed from one hand to the other hand in the past. So we saw that the blockchain, during the blockchain presentation, we saw the times of change, right? Back then, thousands of years ago or even hundreds of years ago, in order to exchange something, doing some transaction between two parties, you need a middleman, you need a central authority, you need a trust, right? Somebody you have to trust to broker between the parties and complete the transaction. That's why the physical asset exchange becomes hard. But in the digital assets, if you could able to digitize your basically a representation, a derivative of your physical asset, and make it available for parties to exchange, either in part or in whole. So that's another piece of definition within Karma Capsule. So the liquid asset, it's a Karma Capsule is a network of digital, fungible and non-fungible digital assets, which can represent the real assets in part or whole, right? That means you can take a piece of land, make a deed out of it, and make one representation of the entire, say, 1 acre of land, right? 1 acre of land is equal to, put in one deed, that becomes the whole, right? Then that deed can be digitized, and you can keep transferring that deed from one party to the other party, keep selling it from one party to the other party. This is trade on a whole. What is parts? The part is take one deed and then put it into a vehicle. Could be you can assign it to a trust, or you can assign it to a corporation, or you can assign it to some kind of a legal entity, and then split it into among the parties, say 100 parties combinedly owning each other, the part of the asset. That is owning by part. So instead of, in this case, 100 people owning piece of that deed, each one can go ahead and keep selling their 100th of their piece to the other person easily. Theoretically, it should be possible. It is done in some of the government vehicles, like the real estate investment trust, what you call as a REIT, right, and all. But still, there is a lot of problem in terms of selling the parts. So what digital assets, the modern generation digital assets enabled by blockchain and AI, does it beautifully is to make it more easier for making and transferring the digital assets between the parties, which actually represent the physical asset, right? So that's the connectivity between digital asset and the real asset. So coming back to Karma Capture Network, the word karma, right? Many people would wonder why the word karma came. So karma is action, right? Many people would not understand what karma is, or they have a very different definition of karma. The real karma definition of karma is action. Something happened at some point of time in somebody's life, right? That's karma, right? So if you could able to capture it, and then capture the time when it happened, how it happened, and what was the state of things at that point of time in his life, in his her or her life. And if you could able to capture that, that's the real karma is, right? That's the philosophical, the Hindu philosophy, karma is all about. Now, if you take into the artificial intelligence sense, something happened in a thing's life. You have some object's life, right? It could be an asset, right? Going from one hand to the other hand, a piece of gold, getting transferred from one hand to the other hand. So the piece of gold is a thing, and then the person owning the gold is going to be the party associated with it, and then the gold got sold. That's an action to somebody, or part of that gold is sold to somebody, right? That's an action too. Then the next action, the person who bought it sold it to another person. This is the second action. If we could able to keep a record of each one of these actions, right, of what happened, the karmas of the actions of gold across its life cycle in a tree of values, that's Karma Capsule Network, right? That means you will be able to go and find the gold not only from its current status or current state, but you should be able to go back in history and find out who was owning this gold and who sold this gold to whom at which point of time in life, and what was the value back then, right? All these information are available to anyone in an immutable format. Means nobody could able to tamper with these records for centuries, thousands of years, even as long as this network exists. Once an action is captured, nobody should be able to tamper with that action. That's a trust. That's a trust everybody is looking for in order to do some transactions, right? So if you go back and refer to the table that I presented on the on the blockchain, the times of change, you will understand. In order for assets to be created, getting transferred from one hand to the other hand, and being sold, resold, going through the trade over and over again, trust is the major factor, right?
So we are addressing the trust we have a pressure to address the trust by making it trustless. That means either, if we create a system where there is no central authority who you all rely on in order to complete a transaction, basically you just simply rely the whole system, the whole network, all right? And then knowingly that network is built on solid algorithm, mathematically validated by scientists, right, for decades, tamper-proof algorithm, or a physics mathematical derivative. Then if you create an algorithm, not a program, but an algorithm that never will have an input, but never will have a bias introduced by anybody. It's all completely autonomous. You will never be able to break it, right? That is the pure trustless system. Once the world gets such a trustless system, imagine you can do transaction with anybody in the world. Right now, I know one of the bad things happening right now around you probably, so more advertisements are happening for gold, right? Gold loans. I know it's sad, but then this is what happens. Where every crisis, there's a new people having cash will try to buy the gold from common man. Gold is an asset, right? Unfortunately, you are running out of cash, so you have to get cash. So you are going to let the gold go into the hands of people who are going to get richer, right? But you still have to live life, so you are going to definitely get some cash out of the gold. Now that transaction, right, is easy because the trust, you don't have to trust the person. You are selling the gold and getting the cash, right? But still you are trusting somebody. Can you guys tell me who you are trusting? You are selling the gold and getting the cash. It may sound like you don't have to trust anybody in this transaction, but you are still trusting somebody. Can you name who you are trusting? I'm talking about you're buying the currency, right? You are selling the gold and you're buying. Even the buyer.
The government.
The government.
In India, I trust in RBI.
Okay, good. So as a person who is selling the gold and buying the cash, you're trusting the person who is printing the cash. You are trusting him, basically the RBI, and then the government behind it. You're trusting them. Now the gold guy, the guy who is buying the gold, he also put some trust. On whom he's putting the trust? The gold standards guys, right? It's easy to say this is good gold or bad gold, 23 karat or not. But then there is somebody saying that, right? Somebody's putting
purity of the gold.
Purity of the gold. Somebody saying this is if the gold has this is components in it, it is pure. So the trust is you trust that authority and then making this transaction, correct? That's the transactions we are completely used to until now. We trust. We have to we end up trusting somebody in the transaction. But what if you don't? So that means you still are nervous about something, although you may not aware, but still, currency can take a dive or go down its value. By the time you sell your gold, get the this is true as